the owner will not allow the sales staff to hound you or treat you poorly. And so a lot of sauna companies have call centers where as soon as you give them your phone or email, or they're texting you 5 times a day, they put you on this email list, and basically they just hound you until you tell them to, or you buy something. Five things that I hate about the Radiant Health sauna. Is this just for me, or is it thinking about the customers too? Two different things. Sometimes stuff doesn't matter for me that matters for them. And then also vice versa. Things matter for me that doesn't matter. So for customers, the biggest thing that I see complaints wise is that in-house financing isn't available. So if they're doing a comparison between buying this versus another brand, a lot of times if there's a finance incentive for another brand, it makes it easier to acquire for them, or you have to get your own financing, use a credit card, yada, yada, yada. So as far as complaints go, that would be one of the biggest cons for the Radiant Health. There's not a whole lot that I don't like about these. Pretty hard to, but there are some things. I have to get really nitpicky in order to think about this in my mind. There are some things about the model numbers that I don't like about the Radiant Health. Like this model here is an EC3H, which is a Radiant Health Elite Corner model. And if you just look at the model name, you think that it's a 3-person sauna. In my mind, it's really a 2-person sauna. If you put 2 adults in there, you might have room for a child in the middle. But putting 3 adults in there, you're going to be, like, there's not enough space for your legs because it's a 90-degree, door layout. And then the bench is in L configuration. So when one person sits here, one person sits here, you're going to kind of clash on the knees if you put a third person in the corner. So if I had to be really nitpicky and come up with something that I really hate, it would be the confusion because, and this is a me thing because I get all these questions. People are like, hey, the EC3H, do you think that's enough for, my wife, my or my husband or whatever the situation is, and a third person? And I'm kind of like, no, that would be the EC4H. And they're like, well, why? Like I can sit here comfy. If you come in here, like I'm not touching the glass or anything. I have plenty of space. And there's plenty of space for another person to sit here. But if you move somebody to the corner, right, there's not a whole lot of room. Physically, there's enough room for our bodies, but there's not enough room for like legs and feet. And most of the time when I sit in here, I'm sitting like, no, don't be doing those crazy shots like you do. I know how you camera guys are. Always filming people, catching them at inopportune angles. Yeah. See how much the camera is shaking? That means it landed. That means there's some truth to it. All right. What else do you want to know? I mean, if I had to be really critical, and this is like really critical, because one of the things that I love about the sauna is how easy it is to use and it doesn't break. But there are a couple things that could use a refresh, like maybe the control panel. Everyone's coming out with these. But I hesitate to say that because the saunas that have the digital screen control panel in them, we've been getting a ton of reports in the Facebook group about people's brand new sauna that's 2 months old, it fails. So would I like to see a couple of updates, maybe electronics wise? Yeah. But if it's at the expense or consequence of premature failure and then like having to deal with a warranty claim and all this stuff, it's great that companies offer awesome warranties, but you really want to use, in my experience, you really want to use saunas that don't break so you don't even have to contact them for that because it can be kind of a hassle. But if I had to pick something, it would be something like some upgrades. You know how the ergonomic benches have the curve in it? Some people really like that because they say it's pressure relieving on the underside of your legs or on your butt when you sit. I don't notice that as much. I don't know if it's the size of the person too. Like if you're bigger, my leg just kind of drapes over the whole seat. But I have heard feedback from that, and I do like some of the profiles of the other benches. So if I had to, get really picky, you could say like some type of a curved, I don't know what they call it, but some type of a curved bench that's a different profile. But I like the seat height of this sauna. It's very comfy. Like it's a good balance between your legs aren't dangling off the edge, and then they're also not too high to where if this is your leg, there's not too much pressure on your butt, and the weight distribution isn't even over this. In some of the ergonomic or curved, benches, if the size of it is not right for the length of your leg, it can be a not a good fit. So it depends on you, right? It's not the same for everybody. But if I had to be nitpicky, there's probably a way to improve something like that. If I had to choose something else, this is more for customers than it is for me. I don't use, I'm a little bit more extreme than a lot of people. At nighttime, I don't sleep with Wi-Fi and stuff on in my house. I don't have like devices that are searching or pinging, trying to connect to things. If it's something that you can measure on a meter, I don't want that in my sleep environment, including the sauna, because the one that I use for my master bedroom or where I sleep is really close to, it's very close to where I sleep. But feedback, this isn't just about me. It's it's for everyone. I do notice that people wish there was either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connectivity in the sauna. One of the reasons that I love them, like I said, is that it doesn't have that, because some other brands, in order to disable it, you can't just push a button. You have to tear the whole roof apart and like disconnect wires and then permanently disable the stereo, which I think is a bad way to go. But because I've used and tested so many saunas, there are other circuit boards and there are different brains with different capabilities that do have a Bluetooth connectivity module that can be turned off either with a button, or it has a sensor in it to where when you plug in an MP3 cord, it automatically shuts down the wireless connectivity. I think adding something like that where it's optional would really appeal to half of the customers, and then the other half, like me, probably don't care. But if you were looking at, things to get nitpicky on when you're comparing like 15 sauna brands, you could argue that a lot of people like wireless phone connectivity, both for, remote operation. It has delayed start built into the control panel, which I like. So that way, if anything happens with the remote connection, your sauna is still going to be on by the time you get back to it. So the reserve functionality is awesome. Other people want to be able to control it from their phone. Other people want to be able to run the sound system via Bluetooth instead of plugging it into a cord. And that's only half. Usually you want to keep your phone outside so it doesn't overheat, shorten the lifespan of it. You can bring it in sometimes. I do it. Just thinking about everyone's needs, that would be probably the fifth thing.
So now that you've gotten the negatives out of the way,
okay,
what do you love about this specific sauna?
Everything. It's my favorite brand ever. No, there's very specific things. So you wouldn't know this, but this sauna has made a 1,500-mile road trip from, it was either to Florida to Maine or Maine to Florida. I can't remember which direction, because I've done both twice. But basically, this sauna, if I really pointed it out to you, is beat to hell, right? It's got dings and scrapes. We have screw-mounted all kinds of extra stuff inside to make tutorials for people. We've taken double-sided, that strong 3M Velcro stuff. Beat the heck out of it. This thing has been through the ringer. But that said, if you look at it, it still looks like this. The fit and the finish of these, the joinery is tight. The way it goes together is awesome. The look of it, the actual finish on the wood, is probably one of my favorites, because you can put it in a room and it kind of looks like a piece of furniture. You can tuck it in anywhere. Looks beautiful. That would be one thing. My most favorite thing about the sauna that I notice right away anytime I use another one is how easy it is to put together. Because I know that everyone else, is not always super handy. And the way this thing goes together, with one or two people, you can pretty much put any of them together except for the really big ones. You see me in the videos putting them together alone. That's because I've done this 300 times. But the assembly, anytime I've had to move it, it comes together like a snap. 15, 20 minutes, I can have it broken down, loaded up. It's just awesome. And this would probably be number one on the list, is the performance. Because, right, you're getting a sauna for the health benefit. And so, I don't know if you have the FLIR footage, but they have the heater in the bench. So you're getting heat from all sides, no matter the layout configuration of the sauna model that you choose. The reason that I like that is sometimes you have a space where you need a corner sauna or a small one-person sauna, or a 3-person sauna or whatever. And a lot of times in other brands, you're giving up heater placement in order to get the layout or the size that you want. And in all the Radiant Health saunas, they have selectable on the control panel heaters in the bench. I'm not aware of any other companies that have that. A lot of companies have extra heaters in the front. But if you look at it on the FLIR gun, this is not 20 inches away from you. This is almost contact with the body. So what it does is it helps hold and retain the heat when you're heating up. So you can actually sweat at a lower temperature, and you can retain your hyperthermic response quicker, easier, and longer, regardless of what the the setting is on the sauna temperature range. All the stuff that you hear me harp on, it's one of the safest saunas ever. We never have any EMF troubles with these. VOCs are super clean. There's no varnishes or anything like that. They work great for chemically sensitive people, good for people with MCAS. I mean, this is my favorite sauna after using all the other ones. There are pieces and parts to other saunas where they're like gadgets that I find that I like, or would like to have integrated, but I don't find that those outweigh the benefits that I get from this from regular use. It's just easy. They don't break. Another thing that I like about this company is that the owner will not allow the sales staff to hound you or treat you poorly. And so a lot of sauna companies have call centers where as soon as you give them your phone or email, or they're texting you 5 times a day, they put you on this email list, and basically they just hound you until you tell them to, or you buy something. I don't like that. It's not good look. It's not a good look for anybody, and it's not a good representation for anyone that's involved in the process of somebody getting one of these things. So one of the things that I really like about the Radiant Health saunas is they don't bash other companies when you call. They don't try to force you to buy anything, and they also don't have a highly competitive call center where they're trying to like force this stuff down your throat. And they don't give you fake like emissivity reports. They don't try to show you an EMF report where it only shows you the magnetic fields and it doesn't account for the electric fields, or it doesn't account for not having shielding on the Wi-Fi transmitter that's right over your head. And then they just show you other companies will show you a pretty little report and say, see, our sauna was tested by Intertech, and it was used as a lab to test this device and to test that. But meanwhile, they're only showing you half of the results. This company shows you all of the results, and they haven't changed, their methods. If they were more aggressive, it would be warranted, but they're still not. And so I really like that. Integrity is huge with them. The product delivers every single time. And in the Facebook group, there's 15,000 people in there. You can see how many people have this thing, and hardly anyone doesn't like it. One more thing that I thought of, and this is a nuanced thing that you won't really see pointed out in a lot of saunas. Some saunas have heaters in the floor, and they have a grate that you stand on. A lot of times the grate will break, and you also drip sweat into the actual heater. And without putting like towels down, and then you kind of have to watch where you step. What I like about the Radiant Health saunas is they kept the heaters in the floor, but they put a tile insert, so it's very easy to clean. You don't have to take any grates out to wipe it down, and you also don't have to sweat directly onto the heater. And you can just put a towel down. It's got a solid surface, and it's real easy, and it looks better. I could tear apart any sauna as far as like figuring out things that I would change if I were redesigning it or things like that. In the past year, I've worked with 2 or 3 companies that are going through product redesigns, and they always ask for feedback. So I'm thinking about these things that customers ask. But specifically to this brand, the only thing that I can't seem to replace is when the sauna itself works better. It's great to have something that has, a different brand that has all the features and everything. But when the core of the health benefit that you're looking for is a better experience in one than another, those things kind of go out the window, because the whole reason that you're using this thing is to get more longevity, better health benefits, more relaxation, less stress, all that. So if one of them performs better in that area, it kind of trumps, all the nitpicky stuff that I would change. So if there's something that you like from today's video, or you're looking for more resources, at CertifiedSaunas.com on the homepage, there's recommended sauna resources. If you're looking for a brand, a size, a model, reviews, installation videos on how to put them together. We have step-by-step tutorials that show you how to receive a sauna, how to prep your house for it. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you so you don't have to wade through 4 hours of YouTube video to find the exact thing that you're looking for. But a lot of times in these episodes, I'll mention sauna hats, sauna accessories, different types of electrolyte supplements. If you want to put an infrared sauna in a cold basement or unheated garage, there's accessories or additional supplemental heat that you can add to it. If you continue down, you'll find everything that you're looking for that we've mentioned today. In addition to CertifiedSaunas.com, you can go to the Facebook group, which is the Certified Sauna community on Facebook. It's our sauna group. There's no hardcore pitching. There's thousands of members in there that offer really, really, really good advice. I learn from them every day. I'm also contributing and answering questions in there every day. In addition to that, you can go to the Amazon store. A lot of people have requested on where to buy sauna towels, sauna hats, different various supplements, minerals, electrolytes. Now we have all this in one place on various lists on this Amazon store. So you can go to this one link and everything will be right there for you. See you in the next video.